So to help discuss how to be more effective at the table, I'm going to pass it to Clancy Meyerhofer and then introduce everybody else as well.
Good morning. My name is Clancy Meyerhofer. I am the Regional Vice President for the Central Region. Joining me today, we're going to have Nick Garrettson. He's the Regional Vice President for the Eastern Region. And then the one that needs no introduction, Agent of the Year, State Director of Texas, Brittany Wisman. So, we just heard from the last group about Emergency Shield Plus and what the effect of a powerful presentation can do. But presenting isn't all that we do. Now we have to get to the table and close a sale. Okay? So welcome to Massive Sales University. So we're going to talk about closing with a purpose and with a process. If you don't have a process, you're going to just be lost. So we're going to give you a little bit of a process. So the agenda today is going to be objection handling. You all know that we get objections at the table. We'll talk about how to overcome those. Brittany's going to do the pricing slide for us. We're going to talk about transitioning to the tables. And we're going to use the 3-touch close method. We'll train you all, teach you all a little bit about that. At the tables, these two are going to do a little role play of using that method and also overcoming some objections with the UARC system. Again, have a process to get through this. And then at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can help boost your own numbers using the historical lead list. So MASA has 2 plans. And which one of these plans is better? The HOPE plan or the MASA plan?
MASA plan.
Good answer. Good answer. So the HOPE plans, I hope I don't need an ambulance. Hope that if I do need an ambulance, they don't have to take me far. Hoping that if I'm taken to a trauma center, it's the one that can care for me. Hoping that Medicare will fully cover that ambulance ride. Hoping that any supplemental insurance that I have may kick in when Medicare agrees to pay whatever they pay. And hoping that I never have to consider if I should call for EMS transport, that I have to worry about that cost. That's the HOPE plan. Okay? And that's what a lot of our guests do. They hope that they don't have to have or deal with this issue. We can provide them the peace of mind to have a MASA plan. Knowing that the MASA plan, knowing if I need an ambulance, I don't have to worry about what costs may come later, whether ground or air. Knowing that my loved ones are covered, including pets, whether traveling close or away from home. Knowing that I have extra coverage to ensure that I get to the correct hospital that can care for me. And knowing that even if I get a bill, it's a very easy process to get that bill paid from MASA.
All right, so let's talk objections here for a second. So raise your hand in this room if you all right, so obviously we know the answer to that. The good thing about our business and what we sell, what we offer, is that we already know the objections, right? We have an advantage. When we go into every single seminar, every single group we're in front of, we already know the 5 or 6 objections that can come up. So just for a quick review, I won't need it. This hasn't happened to me. I won't need it in the future. Something to that effect, right? Okay. So we also know that people will say they've got the best insurance in the world, and that they've never gotten a bill, will never get a bill. They're covered on TRICARE, etc. I don't travel. Now we've added that. We don't get that a ton, but I think as we roll out the Shield Plus, that's one we're going to probably need to be a little cognizant of. Right? If we don't present the benefits correctly. So if we add that on here. I don't have the money. Brent Haskell, you ever got that objection? I don't have the money. Yeah. We've heard that plenty of times. I need to talk to my kid's partner. I've heard dog before, believe it or not. Significant other, you name it, we've heard it. Procrastination, which leads to the last one. I don't make decisions on the spot. Okay, that's one we get at a lot. Well, you know, you did a great job, which is probably the first giveaway they're not buying, right? Anytime they say that, I know, oh boy, here we go. But that's a quick recap of our objections. So, when is the best time to deal with an objection?
Before it comes up.
Somebody tell me.
Before it comes up.
You don't want to wait until it comes up. You want to handle it during the presentation. Now, Clancy and I have gotten up here before and we presented content similar to this. We do it at the rookie ramp ups, and we thought, you know what? Let's change it up this year. What better way to have somebody show us how to deal with objections during the presentation than somebody who sold over $3 million in revenue last year for the company? So what we're going to do here, you see our friends the Ellsworths, which how about the Ellsworths yesterday? That was really cool. That was one of the highlights of the trip. So this particular objection that we're going to focus on is I won't need it. This hasn't happened to me yet. It won't be future. Now remember, this is not the only part of the presentation where you can overcome this. But Brittany's going to demonstrate how she utilizes the Ellsworths in that particular slide to get over that.
All right, so this is Mr. and Mrs. Ellsworth. They are Massa members. They actually sent their story into our home office, and asked us to share their story with our families. So we do every single day all over the country. They came in just like you guys. They sat down and said, wow, oh my gosh, we're unaware. We didn't know this was happening, like most people are. And said, you know what, this makes a ton of sense. Peace of mind, let's do this. Let's protect ourselves. Let's protect our families. So they became Massa members. Not even 6 months later, they were driving down the road. We all heard the story yesterday in a collision. They were both airlifted. It was $107,000. Originally $150,000, so $107,000 out of pocket they would have had to pay. Obviously, they made a great decision being a Massa member, right? We all know that, okay? But here's the deal. That is not why I choose to share this story with my families. That's not why I do that. The reason I share this story is because, guess what, guys? We are all a lot alike, whether we want to admit it or not. And you know what that is? We all procrastinate. We all put things to the back burner, and we go, that's never going to happen to me. And then, boom, it happens to you, right? Because you are never planning for a medical emergency. That is not how life works. But guess what? As you get older in life, things just start naturally happening. There is no way around it, okay?
Great job. Great job. So, to piggyback off that, what are a few things to remember? High-level bullet points here, and she covered most of these things. The Ellsworths are just like any other person in the room, okay? And really, that stuck out to me yesterday after hearing them talk. They're just one of us, okay? But it's important for your customers and your consumers to understand that. Procrastination is completely normal. It's okay to have people feel like, you know what, you're not the only one that feels that way, right? Get ahead of it. Don't wait till it comes up at the table. I like using this. 1 out of 10 of us will need an ambulance this year. There's another slide that we talk about during our presentation that really highlights that, but make it real for the people in the room. If you've got 20 in the room, point out to them that two of those 20 will need an ambulance at some point this year. And what she articulated so well, it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. Okay, so it's very important. Next objection that we deal with a lot, and we can get ahead of during the presentation, is insurance. Whether it's Medicare, whether it's primary insurance, whatever the case may be. So what Brittany's going to do is talk a little bit about how she gets started into the Affordable Care Act, and then segues in medical necessity, and then finishes up on the excerpt slide.
All right, so 2010, our healthcare industry changed forever as we know it. Does anybody remember what happened in 2010 to our healthcare industry? Obamacare, formerly known as Obamacare, now the Affordable Care Act, right? Here's the deal, guys. I am not up here saying the Affordable Care Act has not helped any families. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it did absolutely nothing for you. Nothing for seniors at all. They actually took $716 billion out of your Medicare to fund the Affordable Care Act, okay? You gotta think they had to come up with ways to do this. So that is one of the major core ways they did that, okay? They didn't take it out of areas where you guys are gonna see it. It's not co-pays and deductibles and things you're paying for up front. The biggest area they took it out of is your hospital transportation. How you get to the hospital. How you get from your home to the hospital, how you get from a hospital to a different hospital, right? So again, you've called 911, they picked you up, they take you to the hospital, and then you get this bill in the mail, right? It's nothing you're seeing up front, okay? So how is that possible? How do all insurance companies do this, right? How are they all able to deny more and pay less? How do they get away with it? The biggest way is called medical necessity. Is anybody in this room familiar with that term? Does anybody know what that is? No? Okay, perfect. So here's the deal. I'm going to tell you a fast little story. That way everybody can fully understand this, because I want all of you to know everybody has this on their insurance. Any insurance. Medicare, TRICARE, VA, private insurance. You all have this, okay? So we have a mass member. It was a hot summer day. He's outside. He's working in the yard. He starts having chest pains. His arm is becoming numb. He's hunched over. He's grabbing his chest. He is yelling to his wife inside. I'm in pain. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. What do you guys think is happening to this man right now? All right. So what do you think his wife did? Good job. Good answer. Called an ambulance, called 911, picked him up, took him to the hospital. Guess what? Great news. Wasn't having a heart attack. He was severely dehydrated, had major indigestion, and it actually turned into a panic attack, okay? So great news. Got to go home. We don't want our loved ones to have a heart attack. That's important. What do you think they received in that mailbox?
The heart attack.
A big old bill. And it said it wasn't medically necessary for you to be taken to the hospital for being dehydrated and having indigestion, right? So basically, guys, what medical necessity is they are relying on you to basically self-diagnose and go, is this important or is this not important, right? They put that fear in you. Don't ever do that, guys. If you ever think you're having a life-threatening emergency, you call 911. They have a job. They get there. They stabilize you. They get you to the hospital safely. It is very important, okay? I'm 37 years old, and in my lifetime, I've heard this multiple times, all right? Who in this room has either said this, heard this, thought this, or maybe just heard someone else say it? No, do not call that ambulance. Just run me up to the hospital. Just take me up there, right? Everybody's heard that. Why do you think we do that? Why do you think we naturally feel that way? Cost. It's so expensive. Is anybody going to be able to help you in the back seat of their car if you're having a life-threatening emergency?
No.
Absolutely not. Always call 911. Do not hesitate.
Awesome. Great job there. So what do we always want to remember? She covered all of these things here. Just a quick recap. It's not just about Medicare. It's all insurance. She does that as well as anybody that I've seen. This is not MASA versus Medicare and Medicare alone. Okay? Very important to remember that. That is not what we want to articulate this as. Insurance companies are in the business to make money. Okay? She did a great job of getting you all to agree with that. Okay? Very, very good stuff there. Give them a scenario in which a claim is denied. I thought she did that very well. She talked about self-diagnosis and all the things that could happen with that. We're not doctors. Last but not least, Medicare tells themselves on the excerpt slide. This is their language, not ours. Clinton, you want to add anything to that? Oh, good. Okay, good. All right. And they are preparing you to experience a denial. Okay? So again, it's assumptive verbiage. They're preparing us ahead of time. Third objection is one we've never gotten before. Money. All right? We don't ever do that, right? And we've got two slides on here that we'll mention. She's going to get to the pricing slide here in just a second. But the important thing to remember when it comes to money, if you are waiting until the pricing slide to overcome money as an objection, you are not using the presentation properly. Quite honestly, you're not doing your job, right? We've got many examples during the presentation where we can not only price condition, we can let the customers feel some pain, we can make these bills real. So in this particular example, Brittany's going to demonstrate how she uses the air ambulance bill during her presentation.
All right, so almost 60% of air ambulance usage is called an inter-facility transfer, right? So one hospital to another, okay? So that's how they're most commonly used. I always tell my families, go outside and stare to the sky. Look at those bad boys flying over. You just really don't notice it until you're looking for them, okay? So it happens all the time. This is a bill for $40,000 for one of our massive members. They actually charged this family $15,000 just to fire that bad boy up. That is their fee of firing that boy up, okay? I would say that. This one was actually denied out of network, but it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. We would have taken care of it, okay? Could you imagine if something happened to you? Who do you think is going to have to handle these things? If something were to happen to you and all these bills just start piling in the door, who's going to figure all that out? Yourself, your family, your kids, your spouse, all those people, right? So it's very, very important. You know, we got to protect everybody around us.
All right, good stuff there. Great job. Great job. So get something out of the air bill. They charge the family $15,000. I think she mentioned just to start that bad boy up.
Fire that
Bad boy up, right? I believe it, right? I was certainly very convincing. Price conditioning. If something happens to you, it's your family's responsibility. This is where she excelled on that slide. Let me make this a little bit more easier to understand here. If you're going to get somebody to spend $5,000 with you today on the spot, when the majority of these people came for a free lunch, you've got to make this not just about them. Okay? One of the things she did very well is she started to invoke a little bit of emotion, right? She brings in the family. Now it's not just about that person making the decision today. It's about all the people that it could impact. Okay? They have to feel like this is individual to them if you're going to get that money from them. Talk about how simple it is. I think she did a great job of that. This is a very simple process. And she also mentioned there are no restrictions. Okay? As a massive member, there are no restrictions. This becomes a very simple process. All right. Press the button.
Press the green button?
Yeah.
I'm using my little clicker. Alright guys, so we have a few different options when it comes to our membership, okay? Our most popular membership is called our lifetime membership. Everybody loves it because guess what? You pay for it and you're done for life, okay? Our lifetime membership comes with a few additional benefits. This first one right here is a medical bracelet. Act like you see it. And what this is, guys, is this is you, okay? This is medications you're on, your health history, allergies, emergency contact, right? All of those things. I've got a ton of firefighters and police officers that are massive members, right? Because guess what? They get it. They live the life of emergencies. They know something can happen. Boom, just like that, right? So I always ask them when they're in my seminar, hey, is this something you would look for? Would you look for this? And they always tell me yes, always. We're looking for the clickers, we're looking in wallets, we're looking for anything that can help us save this person's life, right? That's their job, okay? Also, you don't have to wear it as a bracelet. 3 options, wear it as a bracelet. There's an option, you can put it on the back of your watch, or you can put it on your keychain, okay? I usually call out to lifetime. Raise your wrist, everybody show me your bracelet, right? Call it out. Also, with the lifetime membership, we have what's called foreign currency emergency cash advance, okay? What this is, guys, just know, in your back pocket, if you ever got to travel and get outside of the country, and you went somewhere, you got a medical emergency, and it required transportation, we're going to lend your family up to $50,000, you up to $50,000 to get you out of that situation, okay? Just know, it's in your back pocket, okay? So, we have 2 options on all of our memberships. Single, family. Single is very self-explanatory. Well, that is one person, right? Your grandchildren and your great-grands are covered under that membership because that is a benefit, okay? Family is husband, wife, spouse, all of the above, okay? So, lifetime, most popular. We have several in the room today. It's our most popular membership. Family's going to be $4,900 and single's going to be $3,900. Okay, so like I said, guys, whoops, I went too fast. Like I said, guys, it's an absolute no-brainer. After knowing how much everything costs, it's a no-brainer. That's why everybody chooses it, okay? We also have a 5-year, an annual, and a monthly, okay? So here's the great news. We all know lifetime is the way to do it. We all know that, okay? But guess what? They have different options set up to protect everybody in this room, to protect every family per your budget. Okay?
Musical chairs. You've given a powerful presentation. You've overcome those objections during your presentation. You finished the pricing slide. Now what do you get to do?
Go close.
Go close. Go make money. Right? Go protect our members. Okay? So transitioning to the tables. You have to set that transition up. So when you're done with the pricing slide, I grab the, oh yeah, look at this. I love it. You grab the application. Folks, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to each of your tables. I know that you wrote down your questions. I'm going to come to the table and answer those questions. I'm also going to hand you our application. You'll notice it's a 1-page application. If you can start filling out the top, name, address, date of birth, phone number, email. When I come to your table, we'll talk about the plans. Those are across the middle. Now, you're going to notice that the lifetime membership does not show a discount. But we're going to give that to you today, and I'm going to hand you this coupon. And we're going to staple that to your application when we get you signed up for the lifetime. I'll mark out the original pricing that's on here and put the discounted rate with my initials so that we make sure that you get that discount. Okay? Payment options are at the bottom. I'm going to hand these out and I'm going to come around. Be patient with me, please. There's one of me. There's a lot of you all, but I am going to get to each of your tables and talk to you individually. Is that fair? Yes. Perfect. That's how you set that up. Now what do? You go hand out the applications and you start selling. So, I just jump right through. Always let them know that food is on the way, because they came to what? Eat. Right? So let them know that food's on the way, and you've given yourself permission now to come to each table and sit down individually and talk to them. That's controlling the room so you don't start getting a bunch of questions, and then it gets out of control. Brittany did a good job of this in her pricing slide. She said there's a plan for everybody. There is a plan that meets everybody's life expectancy and or budget. Okay? Tell them to start filling out the top of the application. The hardest thing to do is to get them to start writing. If you can get them to start writing by filling out the top of the application, you might get lucky and you might look over and that's filled out and what's in their hand? Their credit card, right? It happens because you gave a powerful presentation. Presentation doesn't close for you, but it makes it easier for you to close. So where do we start? Okay, when you are finished handing out applications and you're going to go around to the tables, you got to pick where you start. These tables were numbered last night. If I start at number 1 and go to the end, is that going to work? It might, but probably not. There's probably an obvious table. The people that were engaged, the people that were showing participation, the people that were taking notes, that were shaking their head. Learn to read their body language. Okay? That's where you want to start. Why do you want to start with somebody that you think is going to be a buyer?
Domino
effect. The buying frenzy. The buying frenzy, thank you for this. Avoid those Medicare folks. Who's going to ask you more questions in the room than anybody else? And I said Medicare, Medicaid folks, sorry. Avoid those Medicaid folks. They're going to ask you a ton of questions. Glad you don't have a microphone. You know, we say avoid the one-lighters. That's not the person that comes in on the whole way. It's the husband or wife that came without their significant other that helps them make important buying decisions. That might be the right person to go to if they showed the interest, or maybe you had a conversation at the beginning. So I say avoid those because those couples are typically the easier one to sell. You're overcoming an objection before you get to the table. I need to talk to my significant other. But go to the table that's showing you that interest. So we do that in 3 touches. Okay, it's the 3-touch close. First touch, before any food is served. You have to get with the restaurant. You have to control the room. You have to control when they bring your food out. If your food is delivered before you have had a chance to speak with every opportunity, you're not giving yourself enough time. Okay? Second touch is during the meal. When they start to eat, what happens, Tim Moreno?
Say that again.
When they start to eat, what happens?
What happens when? What do we?
Their blood sugar comes up. They get a little relaxed. He taught me this. This is his 3-touch close system. And the last touch is that 3rd touch after the meal. Okay? What's one person before they leave? What does every person in that room get?
To-go box.
To-go box. Who gives them their to-go box? You do. The agents do. You do. If you're letting the waitress hand out to-go boxes, you're missing a final opportunity to talk to that reservation. Okay?
All right. So let's talk overcoming objections a little bit at the table. So, believe it or not, we've got some really great presenters in this room. Let's give it up for Tim Jones real quick today. Let's give it up for Brittany. This stuff's not easy. It's not easy. It's something you do every single day. When you get here to do it, it's a little bit different. What is the UARC approach? So let me say this. This is not the only way to overcome objections. Okay? This is an approach, one of many, to help you overcome objections after you've given a great presentation, and that great presentation alone just wasn't enough. Okay, some of these people, some of these customers need to be worked at the table. So this approach is one of many that will help you overcome those battles and turn some of those maybes into yeses. The first thing you want to do with this approach is understand. The customer is going to give you an objection, and you need them to know that you understand their claim, okay? The second thing you want to do is acknowledge it. I completely understand, Mr. Jones. In fact, that's quite often what we hear from folks just like yourself. When you say those two things to really any objection they give you, what does that do for you? What does that turn you into? Human. Okay? I'm not Nick the salesperson, right? I've gone from up here to eye level with that particular customer. It's going to lower that barrier a little bit, okay? Because they already know I'm trying to sell them something. We've got to that point, right? But they need to feel like that I'm able to hear them. When they feel like you're listening, they're going to open up to you a little bit more. Third step is respond. Listen, you can understand and acknowledge all you want, but if you don't give them a response, if you don't put some meat in the sandwich and give them a reason as to why ultimately you need to change this objection into a buying situation today, it's not going to do anything. Okay, we'll see some examples of that. Last but not least, confirm. Okay, so there's many different ways to do this. You don't necessarily have to ask them a question as you leave the table, but the bottom line is you need to get their buy-in of some kind. Okay, so when you leave the table, you need to make sure you leave them with a powerful statement or some sort to give you a reason to go back. So yeah, that's the example of this particular version of overcoming objections. Again, it's not the only one, okay, but it's an example of one you can use.
All right, so first touch before the meal. We are going to have, I'm going to come on this side. We're going to have Brittany and Nick kind of show you what this looks like. We can stand up here and teach you all day long, but to show you what it looks like in a real life scenario. Nick is going to be our customer, our RSVP that's came to Red Lobster for a free lunch, and Brittany's going to close it. So on the first touch, relax the customer, ask simple questions, answer their questions. Control the conversation. You have to be able to get in and out of the table. Don't get stuck at that table. Avoid the no at all costs. Once they tell you no, it's harder to reverse that no to a yes, right? Give yourself a reason to come back for a second touch, just like you gave yourself a reason to go in for the first touch. Leave them at the table thinking about something. Top-down selling, thinking about something to plan this bigger. Only write the obvious lifetimes in the first touch. For monthly purchases, you can leave them and come back and talk to them later. Okay? Brittany's going to go through this with Nick.
All right, here we go. Go ahead and fill that out. You can put your credit card right there and sign right here, and I'll take that.
That's the way it's done.
Listen, Brittany, you did a great job. I love your presentation. I need to talk to my kids. I don't make any decisions unless my kids, they don't necessarily control my money, but I like talking to them about everything.
Absolutely. I completely understand. That happens all the time. It's very natural to feel that way. But here's the deal. Remember, you do things like this in life for your kids. This is something you're doing for your kids. You know, you never stop being a parent. They're not going to ever understand this like you would. They're not going to see the value in something like this like you would do, okay? Hey, I'm going to go over here. I'll be right back. I've got this other family. They've got some questions, okay?
Okay, thank you, Brittany.
Sorry, I went one slide too far. Sorry about that, Brittany. So that was her first touch at the table. She got in, she got out, she didn't get stuck at that table. We don't want to spend too much time where we don't get to the other opportunities, right? You have to touch every one of these first touches before any food comes out. Okay? Now, the food's come out, they've started to eat. Tim, what's happening?
Blood sugar.
Blood sugar is going on. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later, buddy. The second touch, they started to eat. Their blood sugar's coming up. They're relaxing a little bit. The husband and wife have been whispering at the table. Okay, maybe you see him start fidgeting for his wallet. You know that's a good sign, all right? Watch their body language. On the second touch, you can be a little more assertive. You can ask them what plan they've decided on. What are we buying? What works for you and your family. It's okay to take that application and start writing for them. I have filled out many of applications and had to follow them up and go get a new one to refill it out, right? But it's okay to be assertive. Assumptive sale, go ahead and start doing that. Most sales are made during the second touch. You're digging in, you're getting a little deeper with them, spending a little more time at the table. Be loud when you make a sale because it is contagious, right? We all put something on the front table. We go get the folder, the membership kit, or I'm going to get you your stickers, right? That transition to the table, what I missed is your membership becomes effective today. And when you sign up, you get this, right? Everybody in the room wants everything, right? They come to your table and start grabbing stuff, right? So if you're telling them that a member gets something and that's the only way they get it, you're helping with the psychology of moving that process forward, okay? Remember, people are listening, okay? Have the conversations you want them to hear loud enough that they can hear. Have the conversations you don't want them to hear quiet enough that they don't hear, okay? And now we're going to see a second touch.
All right, so what membership did you decide on today? What's going to be best for you and your family?
Listen, I love everything you talked about, but I've had really good insurance for a long time, and I feel like I'm probably pretty good.
You know what? That's completely normal. Insurance companies actually want you to feel that way. They want you to feel like everything's covered. But remember what I said at the beginning of this presentation. If insurance companies paid for every little thing, they would not be in business, okay? Unfortunately, there's just larger areas that have bigger gaps, and this is one of them. That's why we're sitting here today. So what do you think? Which one's going to be best for you? Let's get you protected.
Well, I guess this monthly option looks kind of good over here. What is it, $49?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's exciting. I'm so happy. This is so great. It's such a good thing for you to be protected and your family. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to go ahead and finish filling this top portion out. Go ahead, you've got two options, okay? You can do a bank draft or a credit card, okay? I always tell my families, let's do the credit card, get your points, all right? Go ahead and fill just that out, your payment form, okay? And then I'm gonna go get you, I'm so excited, I'm gonna go get you your goodies, your goodies, your new membership paperwork. I'm gonna give you my personal cell phone number. I tell all my members, put my phone number in your phone. That way, if you have any questions, call me, okay? That's what I'm here for. I'm your agent, okay? So I'll be back. Give me just a second. I'm going to go talk to this family.
Okay. So she gave him a task. Start filling out the top, start filling out the bottom, okay? So third touch. Now they finished their food. They're trying to make that decision. Their blood sugar's up.
Wake up.
Tim's awake. This is your last chance, though, okay? In this scenario, we know that we got Nick writing. He's good. Justin, on the other hand, is over here. He hadn't started writing yet. So I'm going to be a little more aggressive. I'm going to ruffle Justin's feathers a little bit, okay? It is okay to ruffle their feathers, okay? But don't be desperate. Commission breath is not a good thing. They know you're a salesperson and they know you get paid on this sale, but you have to educate them, okay? You are selling through education, not through pressure. But sell them. That is the end of the game. Sell them something. This is your last chance to do that. Most annuals and monthlies are closed and sold on this touch because you've left them alone as they started to decide on those monthlies so that you can focus and spend some more time with the folks that are buying those lifetimes in those 5 years, okay? An annual or a monthly is better than nothing at all. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely, but what's even better? CLN. Make the truth come out. This is where you can start asking the questions. Justin, be honest with me, you're here for lunch, right? You really enjoy here for the checkmate biscuits. So let's look at the scenario with this third touch with Nick as the customer and Brittany as the amazing agent.
All right, so, okay, let's look this over. Hey, listen, so I want to explain something to you, okay? This is our monthly membership and this is our lifetime, all right? These are two completely different memberships. This is the one that you pay for and you're done for life. You're done forever. This monthly membership here is something that you pay on forever and ever and ever. It's like a gym membership. You pay on it every single month. It never goes towards anything, and you're not paying anything off.
So that $49 a month, that's not going towards.
Absolutely not. Those are two completely different memberships. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The lifetime is just the best way to do it. You're done. You never worry about it again.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I mean, listen, I came here wanting to learn about this information. I'm hungry. Okay, hopefully we eat soon.
Well, guess what? If you don't buy, I'm not feeding you.
But you know, honestly, Brittany, listen. I guess I'm still paying off these credit card bills from Christmas, and tax time's coming up soon, and I just didn't come here planning on spending.
I completely get it. I understand. Trust me, I told you earlier, I've got 2 boys, and I get it. They're so expensive. I completely understand. But again, I mean, the best way to do it is the lifetime. It's just the best. But here's the deal. You're going to save $600 right now today. You're going to be protected when you walk out of that door, and you're never going to worry about it again. This is going towards nothing.
Yeah.
You know, most people put it on their credit cards and get their points, and they're done.
Yeah, but I mean, so we didn't. This 5-year option here is that? I mean, we didn't talk about that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a great plan. Here's the problem with it, okay? You do it, you have it for 5 years, and then you have to do it again. Guess what? Who knows what the price is going to be in 5 years, right? There's just really not a big price difference in these two. That's why the lifetime is a no-brainer. I mean, the price difference between these two is not much. You know, so that's why, again, you do the lifetime, you never worry about it again, you're done.
I know. That's a lot of money.
I get it. Well, okay, so here's the deal. On our lifetime membership, we have 2 options, okay? Like I said, most of all of our families just go ahead and pay for it, be done, put it on their credit card, get their points. But we do have an option to where you put a portion down and you pay it out over 20 months, okay? So those are your 2 options.
Is there any sort of like fees with that?
There is. So here's on the option the second option I gave you. Remember, you're at a seminar, so this is $600 cheaper. So go ahead and mark that out, okay? Perfect. Yes. So if you do the option where I said you put a chunk down and pay it out over 20 months, there's a $10 credit card processing fee every single month. I'm not buying your lunch. Yes, so it is. You know, well, I mean, you're using our money. We're going to get you through this for 20 months. So there's a $10 credit card processing fee. That's just the way it works. So it is going to be an additional $200. Here's the deal. Hey, another option. You know what you could do? But instead of paying that on 1 credit card, if you want to pay the whole thing in full and put it on 2 credit cards, you can do that too. Get points on both of them. You know?
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
I mean, I came here to eat pretty much.
You did. Guess what? You're gonna get the best of both worlds. You're gonna get to eat, and you're gonna be protected for life. Okay.
Yes.
So go ahead and fill this out. Let's go ahead and put the credit card that you get the most points on. Go ahead and sign right here.
All right.
And then guess what? You're protected. When you walk out the door, effective immediately. Woohoo! You're good.
Good job. She used top-down selling. She let him talk through. She's relentless, by the way.
She's more than the tables.
She showed
What's
him,
that? She's
as
worse
he
than the
went through
tables.
the options in his head, she showed him that the lifetime was always the best. Okay? She acknowledged that the other plans were good, but there's something better. And she kept leading him back to the top. Okay? And then you saw how she overcame that I want to pay him an installment, and how she got into the paid in full, right? Paid in full is the way to go, right, Harris?
Yeah.
All right, so full closing cycle, we got 2 minutes, so we're going to get through some of this. Closing cycle, before the pricing, the whole plan versus the massive plan, getting through the pricing slide the right way, adding value in the plans, more value in the lifetime, the 5-year and the annual and monthly are good, transitioning to the table and controlling the room and your conversations and time at the tables, and using the 3-touch close process to close some sales and make some money. Alright, so one other thing we want to touch on really quickly is how do we build this attendance? How do we get more people in our rooms? Okay? Every state in here has been open for at least 6-7 months, so Arizona a little less than others, but most of your states have been open for a long time, and there's a lot of people that have RSVP'd in your state. There's a lot of people that no-show or cancel our seminars, right? Well, you all, and I recommend this, go to your state directors and ask them for the historical leads report. They can run that and show you who canceled, who no-showed. They can give you a list of members for wherever you're going to be in the next couple of weeks. And with adequate time, you can call those folks and invite them to the seminar. Okay? We do have that list that we can get. Your state directors can get that for you if you ask for it. Okay? It'll drive your attendance. It'll give you some CLM members. Ask those CLM members to bring a guest. Where's DJ at? Eagles fly with eagles, right, buddy? Absolutely. Eagles fly with eagles. Right? So CLM members are who you want to invite. You can invite those 5 years, get the upgrades. You can invite a lot of people now because we can upgrade them to
Plus.
Emergency Shield Plus. Let's go. Right? I went through most of this. Let's go. How to use it, get it from the state director. Working with members. Making sure you upgrade or calling up members that you can upgrade, know a little bit about their plan, and your state director can help you with that. Previous plans, Platinum, Emergency Shield, get them to Emergency Shield Plus. And what's in it for you guys?
Money.
Increase attendance. You can't sell people that aren't there. These folks have showed an interest of massive. They've RSVP'd, and for one reason or another, they didn't show up. Are we going to call our no sales and invite them back?
No.
Probably not. Probably not the best place to start. Call the no-shows, call the cancellations, the folks that showed interest and had something come up that they couldn't make it that day, and we can re-invite them back, okay? Call the CLM members, those are the ones that will bring those other folks that they're gonna spend $5,000. So you're increasing your attendance. Every 5% increase in attendance means $10,000 of annual income in your pocket. That's a lot of money, okay? It'll increase your dollar per RSVP, and what's that help you get? Your bonus, more money, right? If the company's gonna offer you money, take it. Justin said it before I did. Take it. They're offering you money, don't leave it in their hands. Take it, okay? And that'll maximize your overall income through increased sales volume. So we're going to do a breakout session now. I want everybody to go directly to their room. We're going to do some role play, the agents that are involved in that. Get with your moderators. Can the moderators